So for Shrew, simply put, that we're aiming to tell a love story. And in order to tell that story, the production does not feature the cynicism that is sometimes connected with Taming of the Shrew. So instead, we're aiming to highlight the comedy and the whimsy in the text. So to help that along, because it does need a little bit of help, certain significant choices were made. It's been liberally cut. Christopher Sly's story, which is the framing device for those that know the play well, has been removed entirely. And the aesthetic of the show, which I'll talk about more, is very light and fun. And the main feature, I think, of that aesthetic is we have a live band, a rock band. And so what we're left with is a very lean production with the kind of length that I think is more suitable for a love story, 2 hours instead of 3 hours. And and hopefully a production as well that will be great for all ages, as student groups will be a considerable part of this particular production's audience. And so now, to expand a little bit on the goal of the love story. So I said that it's a lean production, and I don't mean that in the sense that it's superficial or surfacey. In actuality, by making it a lean production, it really deepens that love story and makes it more believable. Because that kind of love that it's interested in happens in the moment. It just sweeps you off your feet. And David explains this best in his program note, which I'll just read a little bit of an excerpt from. It says, "This production aims at romance, love, and potential. Remember love, anticipation, butterflies in your gut as you wait and wait and wait for night to fall. Remember anonymity giving way to definition, surprise, and pain, all wrapped up in the flicker of potential. Remember being too quick to judge or too eager to define, and the awkward sting of regret as your preconceptions lay shattered. Have you met fist to fist with another you and turned away for fear of facing yourself? We are eager to present this Shrew in our reimagined environment, where a bit of life's magic, a dash of rock and roll, and a belly full of laughs open new channels to the heart. I mean, come on, who hasn't wanted to fall in love on the boardwalk?" And I really agree with what David says, what he calls the flicker of potential. It's hugely important to this play, and I think what will make the love story we want to tell land for the audience. So now to talk about the world of the play. The statement itself refers a little bit to our world, which, as you might guess, is a perfect foundation for a love story. And so what started to define that world, the entry point for the design team when they met, was Petruchio, and wondering if the kind of larger-than-life energy that this character has could mean that he's recognizable from the outside and summed up immediately by the audience. And so in our production, he's a rock and roll star. And specifically, the style of music is rockabilly. And it was chosen because that style is both prevalent today, but it harkens back to the past. And so this style, this musical pulse and energy, and that kind of timeless nature that is involved with it, is the perfect foundation for all of the love in this play, for Lucentio and Bianca to find each other, Biondello and Grumio, which is new in this production, the widow and Hortensio, and of course, Kate and Petruchio. And so the Kate and Petruchio relationship has been very nicely reimagined in this production as well. With Petruchio's rock star persona, he wears his identity on his sleeve for us all to see. Kate, though, also embodies that kind of persona, but she's at a time in her life where she's hidden that identity. So what's external for him is internal for her. And so as the plot progresses, Kate not only finds love, but she also finds herself. And so the vibrant set and light design allows for this all to happen as well. The inspiration for the set was Coney Island, though we're not in Coney Island. And specifically, I guess there's a rockabilly festival that happens at Coney Island, so they looked at that. And in this kind of carnival landscape, we have a setting that grounds us in the contemporary world, so we are in the now time. And like Padua in Shakespeare's play, this environment is a place where a lot of people visit with the hopes to have a kind of unforgettable, fun time and take the leap, take chances, fall in love. And in our production, Baptista, who's Kate and Bianca's father, he owns this Coney Island-inspired empire, which adds another layer that actually helps our story. Because at the core of it, plot-wise, in this kind of wild world that we've talked about, the real core of the story is that we have a single dad. There's no mother in the story. And he's trying to do the best that he can for his 2 daughters. And all in all, this world really does help the story, the whimsy, and the act of falling in love. And we just teched, so we actually saw it on stage, and you can attest, it does help it. So to wrap up, just touching on the process itself so far, well, with further background too, I had the opportunity to work with David at Utah Shakespeare Festival, where he's the artistic director. I worked with him before he was the artistic director, when he was an actor. And when I heard that he would be doing Shrew here, I knew his comedic talents and spirit would be a perfect match for the play. And now, a month into the process, that's proven to be true. There's a real kind of harmony in the rehearsal room, and that includes everybody that he's brought in, his energy, of course, and of course the actors. And while putting up the show of this magnitude is challenging and a lot of work, it's been a real joy for everybody. You can't always say that. I've assistant directed a lot, and that's not always the case. Sometimes you're just the hours weigh on you. But this one has been really fun, and I'm really genuinely excited for everybody to see the show, and for you all to talk it up, encourage others to see it again, talk it up some more, and hope that everybody loves it as much as I do.
Fantastic. All right, thank you, Rob.